Alright guys, back again today. Here we have Peter Venkman from the new Ghostbusters Plasma series. Looks very cool in the packaging. I was very excited for this line of figures. Ghostbusters is a fantastic film. The second one is so-so for me, but I still love the Ghostbusters and I think it's a cool movie. So I was excited for these figures, and I'm especially excited because Hasbro's making them. Very articulated, and they have a great history of some cool lines. So let's see how they did with this line of figures. So we'll be starting off with Venkman, as I said, Peter Venkman, played by Bill Murray. Packaging is very nice, nice cloth looking material here, logo. You can see Venkman, that almost looks like it's stitched on there. 4 and up, Hasbro on the bottom. On this side, you can see nice art of all the Ghostbusters without their eyes. Looks very, very cool. I like the aesthetic of it. On the back here, you can see all the other figures and the Build-A-Figure Vince Clortho. And then it says Peter Venkman, the man with the mouth. Peter can convince almost anybody of almost anything. That's pretty fitting for the character. You see some different warnings and stuff and descriptions, each sold separately. Just very cool looking overall. The aesthetic of this packaging is very nice. And on this side, you can see attention at the bottom, some label down there, and then, if you guys can see that, but just an attention sign, and some more cool art. So let's open this guy up and take a look and see how he is. We've also mentioned on the back of the packaging here on the inside, once you slide the figure out, you'll get some really cool blueprint type of art of the vehicle they have and the different guns they use. Looks really, really cool. And on the bottom it comes with this different little, I think it's just like a little warning. Yeah, just warning, choking hazard. Nothing else to it really. So for the first accessory we get a Build-A-Figure piece, obviously, and it is the leg of the dog you get. And from what we see here, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool, but we'll take a better look at it once we actually build the thing. Next accessory we get is the little ghost trap, and it's really cool, dude. Very nice paintwork, nice silver throughout, nice red, and the nice design on the top too. It doesn't open up or anything, so that's kind of a bummer, and it's hollow on the bottom, so that's kind of a bummer too. It's a little pointless. Would have been nice if it wasn't hollow, but if you want Venkman to hold it, it will fit in his hand, nice and snug. So the last accessory we get is this little backpack, the blaster that he comes with. And it is nice looking for the most part. The actual back side of it is painted really well. I like all the different designs and stuff, all the painted wires. It looks good, beautiful sculpt work. These front straps though are just a flat green color, and those look like absolute shit. I really hate that. So that's the big downfall of this accessory. What should be the best accessory with him really isn't just because of these straps. They're really ugly. However, the back side of this looks fantastic. They did really good work on it. The actual blaster is really cool. It hooks on there. You can take that on and off. And there's a little peg hole in the bottom, and you can strap it onto the side of the pack there, and it fits pretty well on there. And then the last feature of this, there's two things that were kind of stumping me. How the heck am I going to get this on Venkman, for one? And how am I going to get him to hold his blaster? And personally, I feel like this probably should have came with him already wearing it. And you could take it off, but I'll show you guys how to put it on. Okay, so here we have Bill Murray, and what I do is I just put his arms straight up in the air, and I just kind of slide his arm in, if I can get that in there, the peg kind of gets in the way, put that there, then you can see the peg in the back just sticks right in, goes into his back really deep, so the pack is really tight to him. You can just pop that peg into the side there, which stays on pretty well. And the pack is on him, and it looks like it's on him pretty tight. However, this keeps wanting to pop off, which is really frustrating. So be careful when you're messing with that there. Now it looks like it's on pretty well. Hopefully that doesn't come off at all. Yep, okay, so far so good. So here we have the pack on him, and I will show you how he holds the blaster. So you can see here the Proton Blaster has these little grips for his fingers, so it shows you where they can go, and they slide into his hand pretty well. They're both a soft plastic, so the fingers are really like movable. You can adjust them pretty easy and pop that in there. So there, he's holding the blaster, okay, the Proton Blaster, and his hand also has this articulation to point it forward, which is somewhat useful depending on the pose you have him in, and it's on both hands, so it's kind of a bummer too. It would have been nice to have one hand that doesn't have that articulation. But whatever, for the most part it looks pretty good and works pretty well. And then you can pop that in there like so. these are just kind of awkward, you know. And see, it's like they gave you this piece of articulation. It would have been nice if you could tilt this hand down, you know. Kind of like in that Mandalorian figure. I think he has that piece of articulation, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong. We'll see in a little bit here. But it would have been nice if this piece of articulation, instead of just kind of sloping down a tiny bit and then popping back up, would actually go way down so he could hold the damn gun. But it's just kind of awkward altogether to actually get him in a pose. So you really can't have a whole lot of fun with this guy without fidgeting with him for like 20 freaking minutes just to get him to hold the gun, man. I mean, it all looks cool. Once you get him posed, it's nice looking. Like, okay, let's see if we can get him to keep this here. Actually get him in a pose that looks like fluid and normal. So I'd say that's pretty nice for the most part. Would have been nice if we got a little, like, those proton streams coming out. You know, don't cross the streams. That would have been cool. But you can see here he does hold the blaster, proton blaster, pretty well. And the proton pack is on him pretty nicely. It's very tight to his body. So all in all, I think that's actually pretty good work. So here we have a look at the face sculpt, and it is okay. I mean, it definitely captures Bill Murray. Obviously, you can tell it's him with the hairline and everything, the smirk. It looks like him for the most part. But there's something missing, man. It's not hitting the mark. So after looking at some pictures of Bill Murray, taking a look at his face, it looks like Bill Murray. You can tell it's Bill Murray, right? It's a good job. But I think it's just a little too wide for his neck, and it looks awkward. And it doesn't help that he has no neck. As you can see here, the figure's kind of missing a neck, in my opinion. And I mean, even if you put his head up, it just doesn't really help. So that's really my only problem with the figure, is the fact that he doesn't have much of a neck, and the head might be a little too wide, or it could just be the fact that he has no neck. I can't tell. I could tell if he had a neck. And I just wanted to put these two guys together because they're the no-neck bros, no-neck boys. They both lost their neck while being made somehow. As you can see, both of them are kind of missing a neck. I mean, you can see a neck. It's there. But it is so small, man. It's like they have no neck, and it's just awkward. Alright, so here we have Peter Venkman. And I would say my only complaint with this guy is the neck and the outfit. And now, although those are just two complaints alone, the second one is actually a pretty freaking big deal. Because, I mean, the first one, the face sculpt is nice, so I can see past it. But the outfit is so damn plain, in my opinion. I feel like it has literally nothing going on outside of the belt, the logo, and this little tag. And honestly, these pads stand out on the back, but the way they wrap around, it kind of blends with the suit almost too much. The point where they could have been a little bit darker. It would have been nice if this suit wasn't such a bright white, if they would have made it a little dirtier or just something. Painted the zipper, even just a couple frickin' buckles on the belt. And I'm also curious why there's a little hole right here. I'm not sure why that's there. But I feel like it's just lacking a little bit in paint. There's all kinds of little cargo pockets all over the suit, but nothing on them is painted. It's just a plain flat white all throughout. And I know for a fact Venkman's suit is not this plain. So, just to prove my point, I will take out a picture of him. Okay, so looking at Venkman, I'll say this. Maybe I was wrong about these straps. They are completely green. So, that's nice. There is a little bit of, is there darker colors in there? No, that's just shadowing. Just a little bit of shadow. So, I mean, they are completely green. So, Hasbro did a good job there. I was wrong. With the belt, it looks like there's those little buttons are supposed to be darker or something. And I should say that the belt and the shoulder pads definitely should be darker, and they're supposed to be a bit more gray. And honestly, I still feel the suit is a bit too bright. It could be a tad darker in my opinion. Just have a little bit of detail on there, even if they had shadowing or something. I don't know. Just a little bit more detail. I would have preferred some more metallic colors that should be shown, because I don't see a single metallic color on this thing outside of the proton pack. Looking at more pictures of Venkman, though, even in some shots this suit looks darker, in some it doesn't. So, I don't know. I think I definitely was a little too critical about the pack. But I will say this, he does have a neck in those pictures, so that's a for sure thing. He definitely should have had a neck. And I definitely think the suit should be a bit darker and have a little bit more detail. However, it isn't terrible. It actually isn't that bad. They kind of capture the movie well. The belt could have been darker, and this could have been darker. So, I mean, not a huge deal, you know? It's not too big of a deal. It's definitely stricter with these movie figures because you're capturing the movie character. And there's only like one interpretation of it, really, unless you're going after the cartoon series or the video game or something. Where comic book characters are a little more open to interpretation, I guess. Not as strict of a box, depending on the character iteration you're doing or whatever. So, I mean, with these guys, it would have been nice to see the colors a little more on point. But I will say this, I do like the details on the belt. I do like all the different sculpt work all throughout the costume. The one place it does really lack is, it's nice that these arms are sculpted, but when you rotate them, God, that looks really awkward, as you can see. And then this looks really rough. This bend at the knee. It's nice we have double jointed knees, but geez, man, that looks rough as hell. I don't really care for that. It's a bit rough. Otherwise, this guy looks pretty good. I think he has some great sculpt work all throughout in the boots and stuff. The boots are kind of glossy and the gloves are glossy as well. All looks pretty great otherwise. So, I guess my only two complaints are the joints here on the leg. Some of the paintwork on the suit could have been a little bit better, a little bit more detailed, in my opinion. It would have been nice to see that. And he could have had a neck. He could have had a neck. That's where he's really lacking, in my opinion. So taking a look at this guy's articulation, his head looks down, then comes right back up, apparently. So you can see that's kind of crap. Doesn't look back because he's lacking a neck. A little bit of the neck pivot there, so that's nice. Rotation, obviously, his arms go up and down and forward all the way around. There's a little bit of a butterfly hinge there. A swivel, there's double jointed elbows on this guy that are very tight. There is no swivel at the forearm, but there is in the wrist, and there is a hinge, which kind of makes it look like a trigger finger, obviously, like he's holding a pistol or something. So it would have been nice, since this is the hand that really grips that proton blaster, it would have been nice if it was a hinge that went like that versus this. However, with this trigger finger that actually holds the rifle, it's nice that they included that, but it's kind of hindered, man. It doesn't go all the way down, so that's kind of a bummer. Otherwise, he does have a swivel here at his lower torso, the diaphragm, and that really is, it's alright. It's okay. Not too crazy. It kind of goes side to side too, so that's cool, and obviously it can rotate all the way around. His legs go out pretty far, they go forward, they go back. There's a rotation here at the thigh, double jointed knees that are kind of rough looking, and then an ankle pivot here. Go forward and back a little bit. Forward, okay, kind of feels like they're gonna break, and there really is no rotation otherwise below that thigh, just that little ankle pivot. Just looking at this picture of Venkman really quick, I just want to say that I definitely think his head should have been a little bit smaller, and the neck should have been a bit longer. I really think that's where it messed up. So, the main thing about this figure is that it captures Bill Murray, in my opinion. And it captures Bill Murray. There are a few problems with the head and the neck, obviously. And maybe my perspective isn't totally on point. Maybe you have another perspective on what's wrong with it. Feel free to comment below and tell me, because I'm genuinely curious how this could be made better in your guys' opinion. I definitely have my few complaints with him, but for the most part, I will say he's a fun figure, dude. He looks like Bill Murray. He captures the Ghostbusters look, and that is what matters about this guy. For $20, I don't think you could go wrong buying him. I think he's a cool figure. He has some really cool accessories, and if you buy all the figures, you get a really cool Build-A-Figure, dude. And it would have been nice to get some kind of Slimer accessory, which I don't think we get one, so that's a bummer. But for the most part, this guy is a cool figure. He has a few problems here and there, but he's $20, man. And they did a good job for $20. It's a pretty cool piece. So I definitely recommend buying him if you come across him. He's a cool figure. Few problems, but worth it. Otherwise, thank you for watching this review. If you don't agree with me, comment. If you agree with me, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this guy. And stay tuned for more. Follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter, THEWISECOLLECTOR. You should be able to find me. Or, actually, no. I deleted my Twitter. What the heck am I talking about? I'm only on Instagram at the moment. But I probably will be making a new Twitter soon. So, look me up on Instagram, THEWISECOLLECTOR. I post a lot of pictures there of things that I find while shopping and stuff. And I promise soon I'll be doing some different toy hunting videos. And there will be more reviews of the Ghostbusters plasma series coming out. So stay tuned for those if you're a Ghostbusters fan, because there are more coming. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this. I appreciate it. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, keep collecting. Peace.